Good evening and welcome back to Indian Racing League. This is the season finale of the F2 season, and we will be racing around the Interlagos circuit, or Autodromos Jose Carlos Pache as it's called, for the final time this season in the F2 cars. This is the final round, and we have a lot of competition going into this race for the constructors championship. The drivers championship was seeded last time around Abu Dhabi, with Noah Wes finishing on top and Arjun having to settle for P2. But the constructors is still up for grabs, and the points gap is just one single point between the Shahruz and the Trident teams, with Shahruz leading at the top with 406 points, Trident behind with 405 points. So that is something which we will be looking at, as Nova and Teves are teammates for the Shahruz team, as Arjun and Quick Killer will team up for the Trident to see if they can get the constructors title. I think most of the drivers are ready. We will quickly have a look at the stream so that I am able to keep up with the comments which come in. But for now, let's wait until we actually get underway, and it is going to be a one-shot qualifying as always around this track. And you can see on the bottom left 50% race distance for the feature as well as the sprint race. So let's this time follow Arjun Shah, who is in the contention to win the constructors title along with his teammate Quick Killer, and together for the Trident team they will be hoping for a clean race. Both of them very quick drivers. Arjun has been on a lot of podiums this season and has given Nova a tough fight. So let's see if he can bring that form to Brazil as well, which is one of the favorite tracks of mine on the calendar. It is overcast right now, but I don't think it's going to rain, at least not in the qualifying session. So it should be a dry qualifying, one shot qualifying. Everyone has just one attempt, and that's where we will see whether drivers can, where they place the car, whether it's on pole, if it's on different positions. And let's not forget, if you get pole in this session you get 2 bonus points. So let's follow along Arjun Shah in his car and ride on board with him as he goes down to the second gear, misses the apex a little bit, so not an ideal start. As you can see on the top left, it is Nova already leading, and this as a dynamic is Quick Killer has retired from the session, so he will be starting last. So that has thrown a spanner into the works of the Trident Racing team, as we're still following Arjun Shah. And now Bhushan has retired as well, and as things stands, Nova is leading from Redstone Dub, who leads from Vfix, and Arjun Shah almost invalidating that lap but keeps it well within the track limits and has jumped to P4. This is a very important lap if for the constructor standing, and as he goes into the heart of sector 2, Arjun will now hope to finish the sector strongly, and before he goes to the main straight, which will be flat out even in these cars. He's P2 right now, so he has jumped Fifix for sure, and these two who have been at it for the entire season long are set to start from the front row again. Let's see what happens at the end of the lap. Arjun will finish in P2, or rather he will qualify in P2 with Nova, where once again I don't have the stat for what is which pole is this for him, how many poles he has scored this season, but I'm sure he has the highest number of poles, as that's the qualification for the grid. Noah West and Arjun Shah starting on the pole, with VFX in P2, in P3 rather, Redstone Dub in P4, Oxidize in P5, Sid Venkatesh in P6, Caesar in P7, 1.1 seconds off the pace which Noah set. Phantom and Rohit and Ashwin are in the top 10. Nishan in P11 along with the other reserve Racing Gupta in P12 who qualified on the mediums. Not sure why that was. I am Rahul and Shah, so the two Rahuls on the 7th row of the grid with Steve Scal and Quick Killer. So basically we have two people fighting for the constructors at the top of the field and two people, their teammates, are at the bottom of the grid. So this is going to be really interesting here as Arjun, welcome. And just to repeat, it is the Sharoos and the Trident teams who are in the constructors battle, with Nova and Teeves are leading the Trident team, which includes Arjun and Quick Killer, by just one single point. So we will try to keep an eye out on that. There is another battle going on, that is for P3 in the constructors, with Sid Venkatesh and Phantom in the Dams team, and they are leading the Carlin team by 26 points. Carlin team has VFix and Redstone Dub, so let's see how that turns out. And as far as the drivers championship is concerned, it is all up for grabs for P3 in the championship, with VFix leading Caesar by just 2 points, none of them getting pole, so no bonus points there, but plenty of points to be gained in the feature race as well as the sprint race. Here we go, tire choices. You can see a lot of drivers on the softs. Sid Venkatesh, Rohit Goel, Racing Gupta, Shah and Bhushan are on the medium tires. It is a 20 lap race, and if I'm not wrong, the softs will go to lap 6 or 7 and they will have to do the rest of the race on the medium tires. Those are the only two tires available on the weekend, and I'm sure the drivers would remember that there is one mandatory pit stop which they have to make in this race, and it has to be on or after lap 3, and it cannot be under a virtual safety car, otherwise it does not count as a mandatory pit stop. But all eyes on the top two right now, as we discussed, their teammates are at the bottom of the grid with Teeves and Quick Killer in P15 and P16 respectively. But in the championship battle, the start will be very important, as Nova and Arjun will battle it out with very fast drivers behind. Teammates are lining up on the third row and the second row rather, with VFix and Redstone Dub. So they both have good qualifying positions for their pursuit of P3 or rather P2 in the championship. And let's see how it goes. Caesar is also in a battle as well. So basically everyone, Racing Gupta has been disqualified from the session, so he will be sent to the grid and probably with colder tires. But yeah, as I was saying, everyone has a role to play here until P8 except for Oxidized Rage. Everyone is in a battle, either if it's a championship battle or it's a constructors or a drivers battle, with the drivers championship sealed, but all is to play for the constructors. So we can see the drivers now lining up. There is Bhushan, who is a little late to the grid, but he will make it, and once he takes his position on the grid, we should see the 5 red lights coming on to the grid. So let's hope that these drivers keep it clean in the first few turns, and from there on we should have a really good race on our hands. I don't see the lights right now. Yeah, there we see 3, 4, 5 lights on the grid. Lights out and we're underway. It's a good start from Nova, and it seems like Arjun Shah does not have a good start for now. He keeps it in P2 behind. The Carlin team is battling. There's a car which is round there, not sure who that was, and is that Bhushan? I'm not 100% sure. No, it's not Bhushan, someone else maybe. And for now, Nova has the lead with Arjun behind him. Redstone Dub seems to have taken P3 from his teammate, and VFX has to settle for P4 right now, but he won't mind it. There's a car going wide in turn 4, and who was that? Was it Ashwin? Not entirely sure. He's in P8 right now, and this is going to be really intense for the next few laps here, as I think Rohit was probably the car who was not able to get off the line well, as Quick Killer seems to have made a lot of positions. Look at that. Quick Killer started in P16 and he has made up 6 positions, and we are not even at the end of lap 1. So what a start it has been. Caesar meanwhile into P5, and in the next few laps he will be probably challenging VFX here, as we're riding on board with Quick Killer now, and nothing seems to be happening right now. Let's see if something goes on, as what's happening up ahead, it is VFix on the back of Redstone Dub, who is not in P2, he is in P3, but again the lobby has glitched a little bit, and Arjun Shah and Redstone Dub, their positions are a little bit off the base, but it's surprisingly clean start from everyone. What's happening behind? That Shah, who's being pushed off the track there, and he will come back, and let's see the two Rahuls battle it out. Shah down the inside, he just stays out of it, doesn't seem to have any damage, so no harm done for now, as behind Ashwin and Phantom are battling, and Phantom keeps ahead for now. Let's see if Ashwin can make a move in the heart of sector 2, which is also difficult, and Rohit Goel meanwhile has the only person who has pitted, so probably had damage in that lap 1 incident. And let's see how the next few laps go for these people, as Quick Killer, we have to keep an eye on him as well. He is fighting for his team's chances in the Constructors Championship. He's behind Sid Venkatesh for now, who is losing touch from Ashwin Lakhwani, but here is Bhushan. In all that madness, I think Bhushan has a good chance here to get Quick Killer. Let's see what happens here. Bhushan is down the inside, and does he make the move stick? He has. So Bhushan is through, and that's Quick Killer, who was trying to make a position but has actually lost out of position. Meanwhile, this is Ashwin Lakhwani on the back of Phantom. Ashwin trying to go down the inside, but thinks the better of it, and he will have more opportunities, I'm sure, to take place further behind. This is Nishan now, so Quick Killer, rather than making up places after his brilliant start to the race, seems to have fallen back the order a little bit. As you can see up ahead, it is Bhushan who's pressurizing Sid Venkatesh, trying to go down the inside, hasn't really worked, and Ashwin Lakhwani is also up there, so he has not been able to get in front of Phantom, who is probably not as fast as Ashwin in this phase of the race. But we are following around Nishan, and up front it's Caesar, who is probably, yeah, he has DRS on VFix, so maybe a move might not happen here. But this is Caesar closely following VFix. Does he duck out of the slipstream to make a move? He does not. He does. He almost does, and he has to stay behind for now. Is behind. It is Ashwin who has made a move on Phantom, and who is that? That's Bhushan, who has lost a lot of positions. Look at his car. He has absolutely been run off track there, and you can see up ahead it's Nishan who has lost it as well, and Shah and all that has gained a few positions, with I am Rahul behind. So the Rahuls are still battling up ahead. What's happening with Caesar? There's a yellow flag somewhere. That's Nishan, who is now well underway, and I think the yellow flags are gone. But Caesar is really pressurizing VFix here. VFix will still have DRS going into the next straight, which is the main straight, but all this fighting is helping Nova and Arjun to carry on with their races, and in 3 laps time, or maybe even 2 laps time, the pit window will open up. We are already on lap 4, and let's see how this one works out. Further behind, what happened there? Is that Quick Killer? No, that's not Quick Killer, that's Phantom, who has lost positions. So this is something not good as far as the constructors are going. Phantom is trying to make it into the pits, and he will, but is he trying to go into the pits? I don't think he is. He has his front wing intact. Up ahead, Caesar now trying to go for a move down the inside, is going to send it, and Caesar and VFix are battling right now. Caesar is through, and VFix has to stay behind for now. So Caesar right now in a car link sandwich, and these two who battle it week in week out as far as the F1 league is concerned are now driving the F2 cars, and they are still ever so competitive. Here we go. VFX is now trying to take his place back, will try to cut the racing lines of Caesar and try for a move somewhere else, but Caesar right now on the back of Redstone Dub has probably a really good chance of an overtake here. Let's see if this works out, as Nova has checked out. So has Arjun for that matter, and he is keeping Nova honest for now. Here is Caesar using the power of that DRS. Does he go for a move right now? Does he have enough straight line speed? Of course, these are default setups for everyone. Caesar goes down the inside, and he has made the move stick. He has gone a little deep into the corner, as there is a yellow flag somewhere. Redstone Dub gets a 3-second penalty in the process. Caesar is through, and Caesar will not have DRS, but I think he has made that move stick and will now see if he can chase Arjun Shah, who is 2.5 seconds up the road. So now VFix and Redstone have a decision to make here if they are in a party chat of their own, because if VFix feels held up and now Redstone anyway has a penalty, maybe he might allow VFix to get past him, as behind it is Ashwin Lakhwani who is trying to make a move on Oxidize here, and it hasn't happened so far, but I think in the next lap they might try something. Will Ashwin Lakhwani is the reserve for today, but we all know what his pace is like, and might just make a move before turn 1. Let's see, let's follow him. And I am Rahul has been disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane. Not sure what happened there. And here is Ashwin, is into the pits. So Ashwin is pitting, and he's able to stop his car in time. Meanwhile, Redstone Dub has VFix his pit as well. So VFix has pit, so that's an undercut. And I'm sure Caesar will... Oh, that's Redstone Dub who's battling Caesar. So Caesar probably made a mistake somewhere. But Redstone Dub is battling Caesar. Caesar stays ahead on the outside, and they have lost so much time behind, as Quick Killer is trying to make a move, but Racing Gupta is right behind him, and all this battling is not really helping Quick Killer right now. He's on a different strategy than Sid Venkatesh. Is trying it down the from the outside, but not really happening right now. And let's see for the next laps, as Racing Gupta as well is on a set of medium tires. T-Scale meanwhile gets a 3-second time penalty. We have absolutely had no time to check what has been the fastest lap of the race so far. In fact, let's do that right now and see where is the fastest lap. I'm sure we could see the fastest lap here. Nova, Arjun, Caesar, Redstone all pit right now, and let's look at this later on, as I think Sid Venkatesh will take the lead, and is Quick Killer losing a position here? He is, so he's staying out for more laps here, because Arjun was pitting, so Quick Killer could not have pitted, and this might not work out well here for him. Phantom gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Quick Killer will have to settle for P3 right now before he comes into the pits. Nova will be out, and let's see, he comes in relatively free air right now, so that is good for him. Arjun Shah has caught up a little bit in the pit stop phases, as behind it is VFix who is down the inside of Caesar, and is that VFix who's through? That is VFix who has made his way past, and this is going to be really interesting as far as a battle is concerned. Nova has pulled out a 1-second gap, as behind Quick Killer surely is coming into the pits now. Let's see if that really happens. T-Scal meanwhile has pitted, and he will be on those medium tires till the end of the race. Let's follow Quick Killer. He is coming into the pits, and he will go on to the medium tires is behind. We are following Bhushan here. Racing Gupta gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. And what has happened with Nova so far? It's all good. Caesar is on a move. He has put the fastest third sector. Caesar trying down the inside, not working out. He will have another opportunity in turn 4. Takes a wider line through turn 2. And now he will have DRS over VFX. So this could be another change in position. These two have been battling all race long. Here goes Caesar. He has to take the outside line because VFix has committed to the inside, but Caesar has made the move through. He seems to have gone deep, and VFix will come back at him. So these guys are not willing to give the position at all. At Caesar finally making it through into P7 right now, and with 11 laps to go, I'm sure that's not the end of that battle. Quick Killer has come out in P11, so he is behind Ashwin Lakhwani now. And with the likes of Shah, Bhushan, Racing Gupta and Sid Venkatesh yet to pit, we could see them battling the likes of Quick Killer and Rohit Goel. Rohit Goel is yet to pit as well. He's not yet to pit, but I'm sure those soft tires will not go to the end of the race. So that's something to consider, as this is the closest battle right now. VFX in that Carling car. And let's quickly look at that's the fastest lap confirmation for Nova. So Nova right now is P1, and where is Steve's right now? He's not in the points, but he might still get points. Arjun Shah is net P2 right now. Probably too early to do any kind of calculations, but as of now it is Nova who will win the race and has the fastest lap as well. So let's see if this works out well for his team. In the constructors, fighting is up ahead. It's Racing Gupta who is challenging Sid Venkatesh. Has not really been able to close up, but now he has closed up and might get DRS as well on the main straight. That would really help his charge. Let's see if that rear wing pops open any moment now. And no, he has not got DRS, so not really getting that advantage of the rear flap being open. But let's see, VFX is still within that 1 second of Caesar, so he will have DRS, and for the next few laps he might just wait before he gets another opportunity to overtake his rival. Racing Gupta, what has happened to Sid Venkatesh? He has lost more than half a tenth there in the first sector alone, and now Racing Gupta is right on the back of him, and we might see a change in the lead maybe at the end of this lap. Right now I don't think either of these drivers are thinking about pitting. Probably at least 2 more laps to go before they come into their one and only pit stops. And what's happened behind? Teves has lost a position to Nishan, so Teves as it stands might not score any points, but he is fighting back, and let's see if he can take the position back. He can't. Let's follow this lead. What happened to Nishan there again? I think he went wide there, but he has just about kept it. And up ahead, this is Racing Gupta now well within DRS of Sid Venkatesh, and for now he stays behind. But into turn 4, let's see what kind of lines this driver take. Racing Gupta pretty confident there, under braking as well as taking the apex. As Noah sets another fastest lap, but this is going to be the change for the lead. Racing Gupta, which line is going to take? He's going to go round the outside of Sid Venkatesh, and he has almost taken the lead. He goes wide. Sid Venkatesh will keep his lead for now, and this is not really helping them at all, as Shah has lost a position to Nova West. And that's Nova who is run wide, but he has taken that position, so he is into P4. Shah in P5 behind. Caesar has caught up to Arjun Shah, and let's see how these guys then navigate the sector, because Caesar is in that DRS range of Arjun, so anything can happen. Is up ahead. This is Racing Gupta again for the third time in as many laps, trying to make a move on Sid Venkatesh. Let's see if this time he can make it stick. He is well within the 3 tenths, which is usually required here. No battery, of course, no ERS, it's just DRS which will come into play as Racing Gupta is choosing the outside line, and he has taken the lead of the race. Sid Venkatesh will fight back. These two almost touch, and that's wheel banging, but I think none of them have damage because that was pretty close, but just about close enough. VFix loses a place to Shah, who has rather he gains a place on Shah, who is now into the pits. And further behind, it's Sid Venkatesh, or rather Caesar, who is on a charge right now. He will have the DRS on Arjun Shah, probably not close enough to make a move right now. But at this point in time, Caesar goes so close to Arjun there, but a move is not on the cards, not in the second sector. And up ahead, when will these guys now pit? Either of them think of coming into the pits at the end of this lap, and we might just see a different kind of strategy from one of these drivers, because if Racing Gupta can't make the move stick, he might just go for an undercut or do the opposite to Sid. So let's see how this works out. And Sid Venkatesh under tremendous pressure for the fourth time in this race, and he has used his pressure now. Sid Venkatesh is pitting, so is Racing Gupta. So and they exit the pits, they will not have the position. This is Bhushan has also pitted, and Caesar is now on a charge. He is almost on the back of Arjun Shah, but has to stay behind for now. And let's see into turn 4 if Caesar can actually make a move stick. He is behind by 3 tenths right now. He will have DRS, but it seems like he will just run out of straight. Yeah, he does. So it's a stalemate for now. And let's see when these guys pit, when they come out, what has happened to Quick Killer. Meanwhile, he has taken P7 with the likes of Sid Venkatesh, Racing Gupta, Bhushan, who are on very fast, very quick soft tires chasing him for the rest of the race. So this adds going to be an interesting battle, as up front it is Caesar who is on the back of Arjun Shah again, and this is for the drivers as well as constructors title right now. As things stand, Caesar will gain 2 points over VFix, and that is enough for now to get level on constructors. But for the drivers championship rather, but for constructors, if Arjun Shah loses positions, it will not help him at all, as behind it is Bhushan, Sid Venkatesh, who are both on the back of Quick Killer. But we will have to turn our attention to this fight, as this time Caesar is quite close, but again Arjun defending brilliantly. Caesar sends it down the inside, and let's see if he can make the move stick. Arjun Shah around the outside, but Caesar just seems to have the beneficial line here. He will have the outside line for the next corner. Does Arjun give him enough space? He does. So brilliant racing from these two, but Caesar has gotten that move done. And Shah meanwhile getting a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Let's move our attention back to this race, this battle, because Quick Killer and Sid Venkatesh, so these soft runners, have caught up to the medium running Quick Killer. And while we haven't, Sid Venkatesh just gets a 3-second time penalty. That is not going to help his race at all, and that is quite a shame, because with just 5 laps to go, what's happening up front? Arjun Shah wants to fight back. He will have DRS. Let's see if he's going for a move into turn 1, or does he wait until turn 4 like Caesar did? Arjun Shah is down the inside. Caesar and Arjun both breaking late. Arjun makes that move stick, and Caesar will come back at him, because I think he will have the DRS going into the next corner. Let's see how the next few meters unfold. Teves gets another penalty, and Caesar is taking the outside line for now, and Arjun stays ahead in front. And that is just brilliant racing from all these driver Sid Venkatesh behind Quick Killer again. And let's see this time around if Sid Venkatesh can make a move. He's gaining, but probably not enough to make a move. So Quick Killer stays ahead for one more lap, and this is really going to hurt everyone else because Quick Killer right now does not have any penalties, which is going to help him really well for the race and the finishing positions right now. As I don't think I have seen a fastest lap anyone else putting in a fastest lap except Noah, because all these soft runners are actually stuck behind Quick Killer for now, as Bhushan trying a different line through that corner but not really getting any time. Sid Venkatesh getting a little twitchy out of that corner, and for now let's see if Bhushan is going for a dive bomb right now. That's not Sid Venkatesh, that's just the lobby glitching. Why just showing Arjun when I'm going to Sid Venkatesh? But here is Sid Venkatesh this time within touching distance, and does he go for a move on Quick Killer? I think he will go on the outside for now, and Sid Venkatesh makes that move. That's a good move for the 7th position he has. Oh, that's wing damage. That is definite wing damage to one of the cars, not sure who it was, but Bhushan will follow Sid, and Quick Killer probably might lose 2 positions. There's going to be almost 3 wide into turn 4. It's Sid Venkatesh who keeps it ahead of the drivers along with him, and Quick Killer losing more positions. Racing Gupta is through as well, and Quick Killer has just lost 3 positions there. Oh, who's that? That's Bhushan, who has absolutely lost it, probably a contact with someone, and that has ruined his race. And Quick Killer definitely has damage. You can see the left end plate is missing on that car. Up ahead, what's happening? It's Caesar for round 2, or I don't know which round this is, but Caesar is on the back of Arjun Shah, and this time Arjun will have the position. Maybe that's Steves who is giving them the dirty air as well as DRS, but for now it's Racing Gupta on the back of Sid Venkatesh. For now Racing Gupta is down the outside. Will he make a move stick? He does, and Racing Gupta is through. Caesar meanwhile just on the back of Arjun Shah, and with just 2 laps to go after this one, we could have a fight to the line between these two. Sid Venkatesh now trying to fight back on Racing Gupta, not going to happen, and behind you can see Quick Killer going so wide, and that is because of his loss of downforce on that car. Up further behind it is Rohit Goel on Nishan, and Nishan stays ahead for now, but Rohit Goel is going to take a favorable line going into turn 4. He will have the DRS. Look at the dirty air effect, which is not allowing him to get to the apex quickly, and I think he will just run out of time. As Oxidized Rage gets a 3-second time penalty. What's happening up front? Caesar again going for a move, and let's see if this time into turn 4 Caesar can challenge Arjun Shah for that P2. What a race this has been for these two, and as we said earlier, they are not just racing for the position. Arjun Shah is also racing for his constructor's point. Quick Killer, as it stands, will finish P9 unless he is losing more time to Racing Gupta and Sid Venkatesh up ahead. That is because of his wing damage, so he might just lose out on that position, but remains to be seen whether it will happen. And here we go, 1.5 laps left, and we still don't know who will finish P2 and P3 in this race. Caesar has 1 chance, maybe 2, and that is all he has got. He is within that 4/10, so that's a good enough gap to make an overtake on Arjun, but he seems to have had a mediocre exit as far as the last run is concerned. He's gaining right now, but I don't think it's enough to make an overtake into turn 1. He's gaining a lot. Let's see if he sends down the inside. He is going for it. It's Caesar. They touch, but right now it is Caesar who then cuts back, and now going into turn 4. This is the last lap. Noah has had a pretty simple and steady race so far. Caesar is going to go down the inside, and will he make the move? Caesar has made the move. Arjun Arunshah has to stay behind, but look at, he's almost pushing Caesar's gearbox. Racing Gupta has another 3-second time penalty, so that will give that position to Quick Killer again. But Caesar has made that move. Noah has a 3-second time penalty, which will not really matter because of the gap he has to the cars up front. But this is going to be tough for the constructors, as far as because Teams is not scoring any points right now, and that's how it's going to be as things stand. Quick Killer will finish ahead of Sid Venkatesh because of time penalties. Rohit and Nishan are having a battle of their own, but it is going to be a battle to the line between Arjun and Caesar. And Arjun right now, as it stands, is going to finish P3, but this is going to be a photo finish between Arjun and Caesar. Does Caesar take it? No! Arjun does not take it, and Caesar has finished ahead of Arjun by 13 thousandths of a second, with VFix in P4, Redstone in P5. So good result for Carlin. Ashwin, the reserve, in P6. Racing Gupta yet to finish. He will finish in P7. Arjun Arun Shah finishing P3. And where does Quick Killer finish? That's a good result for the team as far as he's concerned. P16. And wow, what a race we had, with Quick Killer finishing in P8. That gives him 10 points in this race. Arjun Arun Shah has gained 20, and if I am not wrong, Caesar, because of that P2, has jumped VFix in the driver standings. So as things stands, he will take P3 in the driver standings, but there is still a sprint race to go, so we will have to wait until that happens. Quick Killer is the driver of the day. I would say I might agree with that this time, because of his drive from P16 to P8. It has been a good recovery drive for him, and that would help him in the championship. Now, while Noah has gained a lot of points on Arjun because of his fastest lap, pole position, and the race win, let's have a confirmation of that fastest lap before we move along. Yeah, Noah has the fastest lap with an 18.3. Caesar and Arjun are the other people on the podium. What a photo finish that was. That was almost like Hamilton and Gasly to the line. VFX and Redstone up in P4 and P5. Good result for the Carlin team. Ashwin Lakhwani in P6, Sid Venkatesh in P7, Quick Killer in P8. So Quick Killer will start on pole, and that is a place to be on this track for the sprint race. Racing Gupta in P9, Bhushan in P10, Phantom P11, Shah in P12. So that is the last points paying position. Rohit, Goel and Nishan had a lot of battling, finishing in P13, P14. Oxidized Rage in P15 is one of those few drivers who had to make 2 stops in this race, with Tivskal and I am Rahul finishing on the bottom of the grid. So feature race has ended, and we have our podium in Nova, Caesar and Arjun Arun Shah. We still have the sprint race to go, and that will be a 14 lap race, probably on the medium tires. Yeah, definitely on the medium tires. So let's see if how that works out for these people. Wow, that is Brazil for you. That is the madness of Brazil. It is wet conditions here, and that has really thrown the cat among the pigeons. It is a wet race, and judging by the clouds and the overcast weather, I don't think it is going to dry out any soon. Whoa, this is going to be so much fun. I can actually see that everyone is on those full wet tires, and what a race we have on our hands here. Quick Killer, Sid Venkatesh on the front row because they finished P8 and P7 respectively in the feature race, with Ashwin Lakhwani, Redstone Dove, VFX, Arjun Arun Shah, Caesar and Nova. Those are the top 8 for whom the grid was reversed. Racing Gupta, Bhushan, Phantom, Shah, Rohit Goel, Nishan, Oxidized Rage, Steve Gallant, and Rahul are in the bottom places on the grid, and this is so important for Quick Killer right now and the Trident team, because he's starting on pole, and that is because of an extra time penalty for Racing Gupta. So had Quick Killer not finished in P8, had he been P9, he would have started in P9 and it would have been Racing Gupta on pole, which is good for Racing Gupta but really bad for Trident, because Quick Killer would have had to make a lot of overtakes, and the higher you start in such races, especially wet races, the lesser chances you have of getting involved in incidents. And Quick Killer has absolutely flowed it right now. I think he has just realized now that it's a formation lap and he has to wait for the drivers because he doesn't want his tires getting cold, as the likes of Sid Venkatesh and Ashwin Lakhwani are just now catching up. But what a battle we have on our hands here now. The constructors is still up for grabs, and as things stand, this is going to be a huge so as things stand, Trident are winning the championship by 1 point. That's how close it is, and let's see how it unfolds for the next 14 laps. No mandatory pit stops, so it is a sprint race in all aspects, and with the weather thrown in, I'm sure we have a great race on our hands. Can hear those engines revving, but we see the lights on the grid now. It's 5 lights on the grid. Lights out, away we go. It's a good start from Sid Venkatesh. I think he might just take the lead on turn 1 down the inside for now. And Sid Venkatesh and Quick Killer are battling at that. Sid Venkatesh losing out, and behind it is VFix, who probably it's Redstone Dub who has gotten a clean start, so he is into P3. Ashwin Lakhwani and Caesar are battling into P4. Where is Nova in all this? Nova is, I'm not sure of the positions right now, but it's an absolute mayhem up front. You can barely see anything with all the spirits happening right now. Nova is in P9, so he has lost a place to the drivers up front, but Quick Killer is leading the race right now, and he has got a good enough gap. Look at the gap he has to the drivers up front, and Sid Venkatesh is trying to defend from the likes of Redstone Shop and Caesar behind, and Ashwin Lakhwani meanwhile has to be content with P5, and he has a lot of pace, as we all know, as Nova is just doing enough right now in P8. So I think that's the standings, which something has happened to VFix, I'm sure, otherwise he would not have lost so many positions. But that is Bhushan being tagged by Arjun, and that's Bhushan almost taking out Nova, but that's Nova. And what has happened to Arjun there? What has happened to Arjun? He has lost so many positions. Is something wrong with his car? I'm not sure, but is it a wing damage for Arjun? I don't know what's happening there, but it's Arjun and VFix going side by side. We need to know who came out on top of that, and it seems like Arjun has come out on top of that battle, but he doesn't seem to have wing damage right now. But that looked a little sketchy because he lost a lot of place. What's happening to Ashwin behind? Has Ashwin taken the lead, and Caesar has taken the lead now? So Quick Killer has lost 2 positions there, and he has Sid Venkatesh behind him, and Redstone Dub and Nova are behind him as well. So not sure what happened to Quick Killer there, losing 2 positions as I am Rahul is in the pits. You can see we're following Redstone Dub right now, and these drivers are just tiptoeing around the track as these are very tricky conditions up front. The battle for the lead, as Ashwin is not 0.067 behind, that's just a claim glitching. And what's happening up front, this is we're following Nova right now. Redstone Dub has lost it at the exit of that corner, and that's 1 more position for Nova. Sid Venkatesh has gone wide. We are riding on board with Nova once again, but it seems like that he might just take another position here. Let's continue to ride bottom with him. That's Bhushan out of nowhere has almost banged into the back of Nova there, but thankfully no damage. Here we go, Nova and Sid Venkatesh. Nova is round the outside of Sid Venkatesh, and he has made that move stick. So that's Nova into P4. Look at the number of cars behind him, and all the while it's VFix and Redstone battling right now. Arjun Shah being challenging VFix, rather Sid Venkatesh right now, and this is really going to be difficult as Arjun Shah is gone deep there and is trying to make a move. Is VFix and he has lost it, and Racing Gupta has retired from the session as well, but this is not going according to the plan for the Kalyan team. It's a virtual safety car, and what a mad 3 laps. It's not even 3 laps, it's 2.5 laps we have had here. So much of battling, and the quick guys have made it through, but VFix has lost a lot of positions there because of that contact with Arjun, and we never know what's coming in this races. As what's happening, it's still a virtual safety car, and it will take some time before it is. But Racing Gupta, that's the only driver we have lost so far. The 16 drivers still in it, and with 11 laps to go after this one, the virtual safety car is still out, so you cannot overtake cars until that yellow flags go away. But Arjun Shah looking good right now, and he has the best possible probably. Who's that? That's that Redstone Dub trying to make a move, but Arjun is. That was Redstone Dub trying to make a move, but Arjun is into P6, and Redstone Dub now on the back of Arjun Shah. I don't think anything is happening here. Up front, it is Nova, so it is battle of the constructors, and Nova is on the back of Quick Killer, and this is going to be tricky. This is going to be really tricky right now. And here is Nova into sector 2 right now. What's happening behind? Redstone Dub is still challenging Arjun for a place, and let's see how this one goes. This is going to be intense as far as the battle for constructors is concerned, and Quick Killer is trying everything he can to keep the drivers champion behind him so that he can have an advantage for the constructors battle. That is Quick Killer parking it on the apex, and that is definite wing damage for Nova. Not sure how that will be taken. It seemed like Quick Killer did not have enough room to go, or maybe he just lost at the exit of the apex, and not sure how that will be taken. This Quick Killer is trying to make a move around the outside, but will not happen. And for now Nova is into P3, but that wing damage will not help his race at all, as what's happening behind. Sid Venkatesh and Nishan are in a battle of their own, and Nishan is trying to make a move on Sid Venkatesh. VFix is coming for them as well. VFix has actually overtaken Nishan, so Nishan did not get the best of the exits. And let's see if, as what's happened to Bhushan there. Bhushan has lost his car at the exit of turn 4, and that would actually help Sid Venkatesh. Sid Venkatesh gives enough room for Bhushan to rejoin the track safely, riding on board with VFix, and Let's see how this lap unfolds, and let's see what's. I don't think there are any other battles elsewhere, so we'll just wait until this happens. It's Bhushan almost losing it again, and Nova has a 7-second gap to the drivers in front, so I don't think he's really going to eat up into that gap because of his wing damage. Rahul gets a 3-second time penalty. Arjun Shah now within 7/10 of his teammate and Caesar as he's putting the fastest laps. I don't think these Quick Killer and Arjun Shah are going to fight right now. They know the constructors battle is on the cards, and considering Nova's wing damage, Arjun probably can catch Nova and possibly overtake him as well. So let's see how this one goes. This is Arjun down the inside making a move on Quick Killer, who is not making it that difficult, and that's Arjun into P4, and he has 8 laps before he can catch Nova and possibly make some kind of a move for the podium positions. But as things stand, let's have a look at the points table. So Nova will have 13 points, and it will be 12 points for Arjun and 11 for Quick Killer. Teves is still running out of points, so as things stand, and the fastest lap is with Caesar, so Trident will be taking the constructors title, but we have more than half of the race to go, so anything can happen. As we are watching Sid Venkatesh right now, and Caesar putting another fastest lap, so he is just flying in clean air right now and is making use of those wet tires. As Sid Venkatesh is behind VFX, who certainly has wing damage from one of the earlier incidents, so that's why his pace has been compromised in these laps. And Sid Venkatesh almost running into the back of, and that has really I'm sure Sid Venkatesh has wing damage. Because of that, we'll have to look at another camera here, but that is definite wing damage for Sid Venkatesh, and that is further heartbreak for VFX. Shah is trying his move around the outside, and he will make it stick. So Shah is into VFX is fighting back, but Shah will probably make it through, and he is into P8 now. And what's happening elsewhere is that Nishan has now caught up to VFX because of all that. VFX not having a good race at all, and let's see how this one unfolds. Up front you can see Sid Venkatesh still following Shah right now, so the battle is not over. Shah has gone really deep into that corner, and that will give Sid Venkatesh all the momentum to try to go for a move here despite his wing damage. He is, look at VFX, but he was almost trying to challenge Sid Venkatesh there for a position, but Sid Venkatesh, does he go for a lunge anywhere? He does not. Shah defends nicely in the middle of the track. That is his car positioning which has helped him. Nishan gets a 3-second penalty in the process, but Nishan is behind VFX for now, but VFX is now challenging Sid Venkatesh again, and he has got a good exit out of turn 3. Nishan will have the inside line and might just take that position. Sid Venkatesh has to hold the outside line. Sid Venkatesh tries to brake late. He tries to make that position work, and he has held that position, but this is exactly where Sid Venkatesh and rather VFX and Arjun Anusha had a battle, and Nishan is trying to make use and be opportunistic about this battling going on, and he will have to settle for 11th place right now, as there's a little bit of a car banking going on there, but I think it's fine, and that's just drivers being a little aggressive on the last race of the season. But as things stand, I think it's redstoned up now who is on the back of Quick Killer. So he has two very fast cars. One is Redstone, the other is Bhushan, who are challenging him for that position and might not look good. There's a yellow flag somewhere. Who is that? Is that Thieves? It is Thieves, who has lost it in sector 2, and that is not going to be a good race for Thieves, as we have to move our battle for this Redstone Dog. It's a 3-second time print in the process, so that will not help him at all, and this is why Bhushan has gone through Redstone Dog. So Bhushan into P6 now, and he will be the next car who will challenge Quick Killer for a position, as behind VFix is now on the back of Shah. No DRS, remember, in this wet conditions. Shah is moving to the left and then moving to the right before the braking. I think that's acceptable, no problems with that, and he stays ahead for one more lap. But VFix is absolutely pushing his car right now. He's on his gearbox, and you can see the gap up front. Arjun has reduce that gap by a little bit. Shah stays ahead for now, and Arjun and Shah now just VFix. That's VFix almost running into the back of Shah, or maybe he did run into the back of Shah, and Arjun and Shah is just within 1.5 seconds of Noah. But something has happened to Arjun. What's happened to him? He has lost a bit of time there, maybe at the exit of the final corner, and right now it is Bhushan who is challenging Quick Killer. But that is that weaving on the straight, or is that just, I'm not really sure what that was. Maybe trying to get heat into his tires. But here we go. This is Bhushan now, and let's see if he can make any sort of move going into turn 4. He has had a brilliant exit out of turn 3, and he will have the position, at least the Steve Scale is up front. Here is Bhushan. He almost gets it done, but has to stay behind for now. Quick Killer and Bhushan have collided, but I don't think that's any damage. But that's the commentator's curse, and Bhushan losing at the exit of that corner, and that is Bhushan's race ruined for now. I'm sure that is wing damage there. And what's happening behind? Nishan is on the back of Sid Venkatesh. We are on lap 10 of 14. 4 more laps to go. As things stands, Trident are still winning the Constructors' Championship because of the points they will gain in this race. Let's see if anyone else can try to make a dent into that, as Bhushan is on the back of Quick Killer again. So maybe there was no doing damage, I'm not sure. Bhushan almost loses it at the exit of that corner, and he will go for one more round. This is round 2, and let's see where Quick Killer places his car this time around. He has decided to defend on the inside, and Bhushan will have the outside line. Let's see if he can actually keep it in one piece this time. He has, and that's a good move. What a move from Bhushan. Round the outside in these conditions is not easy at all. There's a yellow flag somewhere. Is that Phantom? That is Phantom, who has lost it at one of the corners in the final sector. But that's Bhushan into P5, and Quick Killer will now have to be content with P6 as of now, as Nishan and Sid are still fighting. And into turn 4, Nishan will have that position, so Sid Venkatesh losing another position there, and not really happening for Sid Venkatesh in this race, is it? He has had a very strong season so far in F2, as you can see up ahead. The battle for the podium is on. Divskal gets another time penalty, but in the final few laps, this is Nova West who is coming under pressure from Arjun Shah, as Arjun is just 2 tenths now, and just less than a tenth going into the final few meters of the lap. And Arjun Shah round the outside. This is not looking good as far as Constructor is concerned. Arjun tries a move down the outside. He's trying to make it stick, and he will make his move past as he sweeps round the outside. Noah has to take a lot of curb there, and this is probably the nail in the coffin. Noah goes really wide on the AstroTurf there. He rejoins the track, but that's Arjun into P3. That's the podium position he was looking for. And meanwhile, it is Redstone Dub who is on the back of Quick Killer again. And he has a 3-second time penalty, so even if he makes that move streak, it might not be enough. But as things stand, let's have a look. Nova will finish P4. Teams will not finish in points. And Arjun Shah will finish in P3. Quick Killer should finish in P6 despite him being under pressure, and that would give the title to Trident because it's Caesar who is holding the fastest lap right now, and I don't think anyone else has the pace to take that away from him. Nova is trying to fight back. Bhushan gets a 3-second time penalty as well, so if Quick Killer, the gap right now is 2.8 seconds, but if he can keep that gap to within 3 seconds, then Quick Killer can jump Bhushan as well. But just as I said that the gap has been more than 3 seconds, but it will still be enough for the Trident team to win the Constructors Championship. We are following on board with Nishan right now, and he has Shah for company. VFX has pitted. Not sure why is he going to go for a fastest lap, but that will not really help him out. Nishan gets a 3-second time penalty for taking too much of the curb and running wide there at the entry of the corner, and Shah will have that position, and Shah without any time penalties will... Oh, VFX has gone on a set of soft tires. What? It's certainly not conditions for softs right now, but VFX has gone on a set of softs. I think he's trying to do a dry tires on a wet track challenge, if I am not wrong. But here we go. Last 2 laps of the race, last 2 laps of this F2 season. And right now, Nishan and Shah in a battle. Caesar has a commanding lead over Ashwin and Arjun, and he is all set to win this race barring any last minute risk. What's happening with VFX here? I'm not sure what he's doing. Either ways, this is Nova who is trying to make a move on Arjun, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But this is Redstone Dub now on Quick Killer, and Redstone Dub will make that move down the inside. Let's see how brake the late. Quick Killer is pretty late on his brakes, I must say, and he makes that corner comfortably, so that's impressive from Quick Killer. And Nishan meanwhile has gotten past Shah. Both of them have gone wide divide. Look at the line Nishan is taking right now, and he might lose that position to Shah. He does not, but because of his time penalties he will lose that position anyway at the end of the race. But coming back to this battle, it is already lap 14, and where is Caesar in all this? He is now rounding up the final corner. So Caesar, who started in the midfield because of his P2, so he started P7, but he is going to win the last race of this F2 season and finishing the season on a high. So it's Andar Chalo Caesar as he weaves through the start finish straight. Ashwin Lakhwani will finish in P2. Something is happening behind, but we don't have the time, as Arjun Arun Shah will get another podium, and it will seal the Constructors Championship for Trident along with his teammate. Nova finishes in P4. His race was compromised because of that contact with Quick Killer. Bhushan will finish P5, and Quick Killer should be finishing P6. But what's happening here? Quick Killer and Redstone Dub, I'm not entirely sure. Quick Killer finishes P5. Bhushan did he run out of fuel at the end there? I'm not entirely sure. Sid Venkatesh and Oxidized Rage are in a battle of their own. Sid Venkatesh should finish ahead of... Has Nishan run out of fuel as well? I think a lot of drivers are running out of fuel. And... wow, I'm not sure entirely what has happened there, but Sid Venkatesh is into P8, Shah into P9, Oxidized Rage into P10, Nishan in P11, Phantom, yet to complete his race, is in P12, and he will be the last person to get points here. Let's see how it turns out. Yeah, Phantom does finish in P12. I am Rahul finishing in P13 because of Rohit goals penalties. VFX, what a legend this guy is. I'm sure this was just for the banter and not a strategy call because it's nowhere near dry conditions right now. And I don't think he had wing damage either, I'm not sure. And has he run out of fuel as well, or he's just going to do donuts here? Yeah, he is going to do donuts, guys. So you have see that's VFix finishing the race. So it's him in 15th place, and let's have a look at so I'll just try if we can get some people into the party. Right, so Caesar has won the race from Ashwin and Arjun Arun Shah, with Nova and Quick Killer in P4 and P5, Bhushan in P6 despite his penalty. So it's a good race from Bhushan. Red Stone Dove finishing P7, Sid Venkatesh, who started on the front row, finishing in P8 with Shah in P9, Oxidized Rage in P10, Nishan in P11, Phantom in P12. I am Rahul P13, Rohit Goal in P14, VFX on the soft tires finishing in P15, and Teeves Cal was the last of the finishers. We had one DNF from the race, which was Racing Gupta. So commiserations to him, and let's see, now is the time where we will try to get people into the party and have a word with them for the podium interviews as well as the constructors champion, which is the Trident team, which had Arjun Arun Shah and Quick Killer as their drivers. So sorry for the blue screens right now. You will have to just give me a bit of time and for me to set this up, but we should be underway pretty soon. Let's have a look at who all are here right now. And yeah, Arjun is here. Hey Arjun. Arjun, can you hear us? Yeah, Ashwin has joined as well. Arjun is here. I hope Quick Killer has the invite. Yeah, Quick Killer is here. Let's see if Caesar and Nova can join as well. Nova is here. Caesar, are you there? Apparently not, but yeah, Caesar is here. So let's get this started. I hope everyone can hear me, and please check in your party settings once so that your voice is audible on the stream as well. But yeah, I would want to start with Caesar, since you were one of those people who finished on the podium in the both races. So talk us through your race, especially that I don't know how many laps was it, the battle with Arjun. It lasted for almost eternity, but it was really fun to watch, and your commanding race win in the wet conditions in the sprint race.
Yeah, thank you, and really pleased with yet another sprint race win. I think I had the pace for the feature race as well, but then again got really involved with Arjun to do anything about it, and yeah, quite too close to comfort, but yeah, really pleased that in the end I just managed to whip him to the checkered flag. So yeah, P2 is a pretty decent result after yet another terrible qualifying result.
Yeah, what is it about you in qualifying? Are you just taking it cautious and not trying to invalidate your lap, or are you making mistakes somewhere, which is why you are not at the front of the grid where you usually are?
No, it's because I don't play F2 beyond these races. So I, in fact, learn the track and the braking zones while I race. So that's why my qualifying were usually crap and I qualified on the order. But yeah, thankfully my race pace is decent and often I manage to make up positions during the races. So yeah, that's good.
Right. Congratulations, Caesar, once again, and for giving us a Hamilton Gasly moment in the feature race. That was really, really fun to watch. I was, in fact, on board with Arjun on the stream, and the gap between the two of you was 1/100th of a second, 13 thousandths to be precise. So, an epic battle, and I'm sure it would be fun to rewatch on the stream as well. Coming back to Ashwin, Ashwin, familiar territory for you, finishing on the podium once again. How was your feature race, and how were the conditions feeling? Because it is Brazil, so it's not unexpected that it will rain, but it was full wet and not even inters. So, how was your race?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much what Caesar said, that my poly sessions are usually where I learn, and that's why I usually don't qualify well. But yeah, the first race, I couldn't really do much. I wasn't able to get past the traffic in time, and then I had one pretty bad spin. So P5 was the maximum, but I finished P6. And the next race was again, I had a bad start from P3 to P5, and then I think I got a 3-car overtake done on the main straight. And then yeah, I was just behind Caesar and then had a few half spins, and I just didn't have the pace to challenge or do anything, so I just kept it in a straight line. And yeah, the wet conditions obviously suited me much better than the dries because, well, yeah, I mean, just I didn't have to drive flat out the whole time, so I guess it was better.
Right, and it was Formula One Division One Williams 1-2 again. So I'm sure you and Caesar enjoyed that one,
Especially
but
after last night.
especially after last night, which was bittersweet for as far as the Williams team is concerned. But I'm sure you enjoyed this one. Coming to Nova, who almost did not race today and has also threatened me that
I need a refund.
you need a refund if you don't win the constructors.
250 रुपए वसूल हुए ना दिन मिली एक.
नहीं हुए.
But what a race, Nova, for you. Lots of incidents. The feature race was a little bit calm, but since you started in the midfield in the sprint race, you had a lot of overtaking to do. And talk us through your sprint race in particular, because you had an incident with Quick Killer, whom you are battling with, for whom you were battling with for the constructors. So, how was that battle, and how was your race otherwise?
The sprint race was horrible. Got a few overtakes done, I think, but when I saw Quick Killer on pole, I knew it was just gonna be too hard to win the constructors then. So,
Yeah, in fact, Quick Killer was on pole because of a time penalty for racing Gupta, I believe. So that's why he did not start P9 but started P8. But he did maintain the lead for quite a few laps before Caesar and Ashwin overtook him. So he had a strong race as well. But did you have wing damage, Nova? At the I think that was a penalty bit corner
Quick Killer,
technically.
I think, basically brake checked me. No, I just
Yeah,
broke
we'll
my
let
wing
the
behind
stewards.
him.
Yeah.
Then that's it.
Team
And he
That
seemed
strategy.
to
was
have-
the race done. Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed to have lost traction or something at the final corner because he was almost, his half car was on the curb, but I think that gave you the wing damage, which was also one of the factors why probably Arjun was able to catch you up. But tough luck today, and we hope you renew a subscription for more time and we have a lot of races with you. But
Not gonna. That's it.
Well-
Final race, retiring. I'm retiring.
Right, so we'll have to do a massa kind of a where you run with the Brazilian flag in the pit
That
lane,
is
but obviously
has
come
happened
back.
before.
Yeah, but obviously come back 2 months later. So we hope that that is what happens here as well. But a strong season for Unova. Congratulations for that. Congratulations for the
Yeah,
drivers'
good
title, of
race.
course. And I hope you enjoyed that one.
Congrats to these guys, man. These guys, both of them are fast drivers, so they pretty much deserve the title.
It
Yeah,
took
yeah,
two of us to beat you, bro.
yeah. Still,
I was
yeah.
just checking.
It
I think
is
if
the
Noah was a
constructors race
constructor in
about teamwork.
himself, yeah, if Noah was a constructor in himself, I think he would have finished P3 or P4 at the worst. So that goes on to show how dominating he has been in this league. But either ways, coming to the champions, we'll start with you, Quick Killer. How was your feature race? Because you started back in P16. I think you did not put a lap time in, or probably invalidated your lap time. So it was a good recovery drive to P8 from there. And because you finished in P8, obviously you were on pole, which gave you a lot of confidence, I'm sure, in the wet race in Brazil for the sprint race. Oh, right. Okay. My bad. I completely missed that. Okay.
Oh, oh, are there steward reports coming up?
अभी रोना मत.
Right. So what is your point of view? What is your version of what happened, Quick Killer, on that penalty mid corner where Noah ran into the back of you?
No, no.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I don't think we have any doubt about that. So
Yeah, I know that.
okay. So we'll
I
have
don't report easily.
so I think you'll have to wait for some more time until the channel opens, and then the floodgates will open, and you will see a lot of inquiries because we saw a lot of battles on track. So I'm sure the stewards will have a lot of work cut out for them. Coming to Arjun, the man who missed out on the driver's title, but you have the constructors trophy, Arjun, and a very strong result. Again, being very consistent with finishing on podiums in both the sprint as well as feature races again. So please talk us through your race, especially the battle with Caesar and the sprint race as well, since you were able to catch up to Noah with I think 3 or 4 laps to go and maintain that advantage over him.
Yeah, I mean, in the feature race, it was a lot of fun. It was inevitable that Caesar was going to overtake me. And the first time he overtook me, I thought that was it. But then, surprisingly, I had DRS on that straight and got him back. The last lap was a lot of fun. It was super close, but unfortunately, he got it. But I was happy to be on the podium. And in the sprint race, the conditions were super tough. I was, I think, maybe P4 or something, and then I lost the car, so I lost 2 positions, and then I dropped back. And lucky for us, Nova had damage, because otherwise I don't think he would have been as slow as he was. And then I had a small battle with Noah as well, so that was also good fun into turn 1 and 2. But yeah, P3 in both races, good for the constructors, and I hope we don't get any penalties and we get dropped down from that position. You know,
So
I
I'm
feel
sure
like
you won't.
Quickler did a good job.
Yeah, I'm sure
No,
you
I'm
won't
sure.
get any penalties. But
Yeah, and
anyways, I
Quickler did
don't think
a
any
really good
any, any sort of penalties probably even if they are applied, you still have you have basically won the championship by 13 points. So even if a position or two is taken away from you or your team, it should still be fine. So I'm announcing it
Yeah,
right
and
now. I don't think it will change later on. So I think you
I want
have
to
won
say
the
that Quickler did really well this entire season. I mean, he came in, I think, after the first round, and he did really well. He got us a lot of points, and he's been quite consistent, and he's fought some hard battles. But yeah, good job to Quickler for bringing it home for us.
Yeah, absolutely. You have had a very strong teammate throughout the season, and yeah, despite joining midway, I'm not sure if he joined in the second race, but yeah, I think it was. a pretty good season for him. I think he joined in the third race from Hungary, if I'm not wrong. So,
All
despite
right,
missing
okay.
2 rounds and getting the constructors, is a really good performance from him throughout the season. So, congratulations to you both again. I think we wanted to have a word with Sid Venkatesh, but he is probably not in the
Yeah.
party anymore. Is he? Are you here, Sid?
He's here.
Yeah,
He's here.
very.
Yeah, bro, the main
Okay.
man.
Okay, because I saw a message which said he cannot perform voice function. So, Sid Venkatesh, how was your race and how was your season? Because you have had, I think you are the probably the driver who has had the most battles throughout the season. So, yeah, yeah. So, how did you like this race and how was your season overall? Yeah, you did finish ahead of Carlin, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so you do seal P3 in the constructors with this result with you and Phantom. So congratulations on that. Unfortunately, there is no extra prize money for that, but that's definitely something to brag about. But yeah,
Wait, so we
overall,
have prize money or what?
Maybe hope so.
I think there is a particular eatery in Chennai which is sponsoring samosas for the constructors
Oh yeah,
champions.
I heard about that. I heard about that.
Done.
Yes, so that's something.
Shout out. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, how was your? So please reflect on your season overall, Sid Venkatesh. How has it been then?
Yes.
Yeah. According to Caesar, is the only according to that matters in this league. But I think we all agree. No, but we all agree. You, the likes of you and Shah and Nishan as well, you have improved quite a lot between the last season and this one. So I'm sure we have more podiums to come as well. And congratulations for the Division Two podium as well in Russia, which was the interview. You have to talk to the people who actually commentate on Division Two. That's not me, but so you have a bone to pick with Caesar on that. But I think that's it from the coverage of the F2 season this time around. When will be the next F2 race? We don't know. I'm sure we'll get to know in due course. Will it be on this game or next? Probably on the next game, which is coming out in I think a month and a half. But as far as F1 goes, the action still continues, and we have the next race in Austria next week. Division 2 is on Fridays 9:45 p.m. Division 1 is on Saturdays 9:45 p.m. again. So do tune in for that one. I hope you liked this races in Brazil. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But this is You Can Beat Me, your host and commentator, and that's it from the comms box this weekend. Goodbye, good night, take care of yourselves. Yep, you're welcome.